The stars above shimmered in patterns that only the oldest alien civilizations could interpret, yet Earth remained unseen, a quiet, forgotten jewel in the vastness of space. Commander Kalen of the Zypharian fleet leaned over the bridge console, claws tapping against the metal as he studied the anomaly. No system had detected anything unusual in this sector for centuries, yet now, a signal pulsed outward with a precision that chilled him to the core. Far below, the planet's surface appeared ordinary. Oceans stretched endlessly, continents were dotted with forests and deserts, and cities lay in ruins. But beneath the calm exterior, something stirred, something long thought lost. Deep in the earth, beneath a mountain range scarred by forgotten wars, a facility hummed with ancient energy. Machines built from unknown alloys and powered by technology even the most advanced alien minds could not fathom began to awaken. Dr. Myra Hale, a human scientist from the surviving colonies of Earth, was the first to notice the disturbance. Her team had been scavenging old archives when sensors in the mountains flared with data spikes. "It's alive," she whispered to her assistant, a young recruit named Yarek. "Not people, something else." Her words carried weight. The signal wasn't just mechanical, it was intelligent. Calculating. Watching. In orbit, Kalen's fleet bristled with tension. "Commander," his lieutenant hissed, "we are detecting life forms. Not just any life. Humans. But enhanced. Military grade. Ancient. How is this possible?" Kalen's scaled skin pulsed nervously. Humanity had been fragmented for millennia, their technology thought inferior, lost, or irrelevant. And yet, the reading suggested something far beyond current understanding. Meanwhile, deep underground, a massive stasis chamber hissed. Inside, a human figure lay in perfect preservation. Tall, broad-shouldered, his armor glimmered like liquid metal. His eyes were closed, but sensors revealed neural activity, a mind alive, aware, yet suspended in time. The facility had waited, patiently, for a trigger that only now had arrived. Kalen ordered a descent to the surface. His fleet moved silently, ships cutting through clouds and breaking the night sky with soft pulses of energy. Myra and Yarek scrambled to the ancient control room, activating systems long dormant. The chamber's lights flickered as if sensing the presence of intruders. Outside, storm clouds swirled unnaturally, reacting to the awakening beneath the mountains. Suddenly, the stasis pod's cover slid open. The human's first breath in 10,000 years echoed in the chamber. Blue eyes snapped open, scanning the room. They fixed on Myra, on Yarek, on the approaching alien fleet. Calm, precise, calculating. Not a hint of fear. Only understanding. "The galaxy has forgotten," he whispered. His voice carried weight beyond his human size, resonating with authority that seemed to shake the very air. "But I have not." The fleet above hesitated, sensing the shift. Energy readings spiked across every system, and hidden defense grids, forgotten by history, powered on in unison. The awakening of Earth's hidden guardian was not just a signal, it was a declaration. The human stepped from the pod, armor flowing and adapting with his movements, and a pulse of energy radiated outward, reaching every corner of the planet, every secret installation hidden beneath the surface. Kalen's fleet quivered, instinctively retreating. The human's gaze held them in place. He did not move toward them in aggression, not yet. But the message was clear. Earth was no longer alone. Its protector had returned, and those who underestimated humanity would soon remember why legends had once feared them. The human guardian stood in the cavern, blue eyes scanning the flickering lights of the ancient facility. The energy pulse from his awakening had reached every hidden installation on Earth, igniting long-dormant defense systems. Underground bunkers stirred with life, automated turrets hummed to readiness, and satellite arrays aligned to track the approaching alien fleet. Myra and Yarek watched in awe. This is impossible," Myra muttered. "How could one human and this facility, hold such power?" Yarek shook his head, struggling to keep his balance as the ground trembled beneath the Guardian's aura. Machines that had sat idle for millennia roared to life, responding to his presence as if he were the key to the planet itself. Above, Commander Kalen's fleet hovered, unsure how to proceed. They were the elite of the Zypharian Armada, trained to dominate civilizations across galaxies. Yet the readings from Earth suggested they faced a weapon unlike anything they had ever encountered. A single pulse from the planet's surface had disrupted their energy shields, scrambled their targeting systems, and interfered with communications across the fleet. "Commander," his lieutenant hissed, "this isn't just a human, it's an entire planetary defense system awakened by one individual. If we engage, we risk annihilation." Kalen's claws tightened around the control console. "We came for treasure, for artifacts, not war. But we can't leave empty-handed. Deploy scouting drones. Find a way to neutralize that, Guardian." The drones descended through Earth's clouds, tiny specks of metal glinting in the sunlight. They scanned the terrain, transmitting data back to Kalen. But every signal they sent was intercepted, rerouted, and nullified by the Guardian systems. Missiles launched from the orbital platforms dissolved into harmless energy bursts before reaching the fleet. Automated cannons hidden in mountains fired, but their lasers bent, redirected harmlessly into the sky. On the surface, Myra realized something crucial. "He's not just a fighter," she whispered. "He's connected to everything, every system, every weapon. Earth itself is his ally." She could feel the intelligence radiating from him, a consciousness intertwined with the planet's core. The Guardian wasn't merely human, he was the embodiment of Earth's resilience, a sentinel designed to awaken when the galaxy underestimated humanity. The Guardian stepped outside the cavern. Light shimmered around him, armor flowing like water, reflecting the sun in a dazzling spectrum. His gaze fell on the Zypharian fleet, and for the first time, the sky seemed to grow darker, as if reacting to his presence. Kalen's ships shifted formation, trying to maintain distance. Then, the first strike came. Not from the fleet, but from the Earth itself. Satellites fired concentrated plasma beams, cutting through the clouds to intercept the fleet's drones. Coastal defense stations unleashed a volley of electromagnetic pulses, disabling engines and sensors. The Guardian did not lift a weapon, he only extended his hand, and the machines obeyed. Kalen barked orders, trying to regroup. "Target that human. Do not let it reach the surface." But every attempt failed. Shields collapsed under coordinated strikes from Earth's hidden arsenal, and the drones fell like rain against the planet's defenses. Below, Myra and Yarok ran alongside the Guardian, following him through tunnels that led to strategic command nodes. Each node revealed more secrets of humanity's ancient power: research labs, energy cores, weapon platforms, and archives containing technology that rivaled entire alien civilizations. Yarok's eyes widened. "We could rebuild everything," he breathed. "We could restore humanity to its true place among the stars." The Guardian paused, sensing their thoughts. "Not yet," he said quietly. "First, we survive. Then we reclaim." Back in orbit, Kalen's patience snapped. He ordered a direct assault, sending multiple capital ships into the planet's upper atmosphere. The Zypharians unleashed their most advanced weapons: energy cannons, gravity disruptors, and plasma torpedoes. But the Guardian anticipated each move. Earth's orbital defense satellites intercepted and neutralized the attacks. Massive energy shields formed around strategic points, scattering the assault into harmless arcs of light. A single Zypharian ship, braver than the rest, broke formation and descended toward the surface. Its weapons fired, streaking toward the Guardian. In a blink, he raised his hand, and the weapon froze mid-air, suspended by an invisible force. A pulse of energy radiated outward, lifting the ship off course and slamming it into the ocean with a deafening explosion. The fleet paused. Fear had entered their ranks. These humans, thought extinct, had returned not as helpless remnants, but as a civilization with hidden strength capable of challenging the stars themselves. Myra realized the significance. "This isn't just a battle, it's a message," she said. "A warning to the galaxy. Earth remembers. Humanity remembers. And it will not bow again." From his position above the planet, Kalen stared at the Guardian, understanding dawning on him. "We underestimated them," he muttered, claws tightening. "We underestimated humanity, and now we will pay." The Guardian did not move aggressively yet. He merely stood, an unyielding figure of power and purpose. Around him, Earth's ancient defense grid hummed, machines responding to his every thought. The Zypharian fleet had the numbers, but the advantage was clear. Earth was no longer defenseless, and its hidden guardian would ensure no invader underestimated it again. As night fell over the planet, lights flickered across continents and oceans, signaling the reawakening of a civilization long thought lost. The Guardian's eyes glowed faintly in the twilight, scanning the stars, calculating, preparing. Humanity's first strike had been defensive, but the next move would determine the fate of the galaxy. The Guardian stood atop a ridge overlooking a sprawling valley, the wind carrying the faint hum of machines awakening beneath the surface. Every hill, every mountain, every hidden facility responded to his presence. Humanity's hidden strength was no longer a secret. Earth itself had become a fortress, and the galaxy had only just begun to realize the consequences of underestimating it. Below, Myra and Yarok moved through an underground command center, interfacing with consoles that glowed with ancient energy. Myra's fingers danced across the controls, bringing systems online that had been silent for millennia. Satellite grids aligned with precision, orbital defense turrets calibrated for maximum efficiency, and energy barriers shimmered across the planet's surface. "It's like the Earth itself is alive," Yarok whispered, awestruck. Every system responding to him. Meanwhile, in orbit, Commander Kalen barked orders, desperate to regain control. "Deploy full fleet. Target the Guardian at all costs." Zypharian ships surged forward, energy cannons blazing. But as the first salvo approached, the Guardian extended his hand. A ripple of invisible energy radiated outward, dissolving the projectiles mid-air. The sky lit up with arcs of redirected plasma, harmlessly arcing into space. One of Kalen's lieutenants hissed, "We can't penetrate the defenses. This human, controls everything." The Guardian's voice carried across the battlefield, calm yet commanding. "Leave. This is your only warning." His armor shimmered, adapting, flowing like liquid metal. But he did not attack yet. Instead, he allowed the Zypharians to witness Earth's readiness, the full force of its latent power. On the ground, Myra studied a holographic map projected from an ancient console. "He's not just defending," she realized aloud. "He's preparing a counterstrike. Look at the coordination, the satellites, the orbital weapons, the planetary shields, it's all synchronized." Yarok nodded. "He's not just fighting them, he's teaching us. Showing us what humans can do." Far above, the Zypharian fleet faltered. Ships wavered in formation, unsure how to engage a planet that seemed to anticipate every move. Kalen growled, frustration echoing in his claws. "They should be weak, fragmented. Yet they move as one. Earth itself fights back." The Guardian moved toward the edge of the ridge, his gaze sweeping the horizon. The forests below stirred with hidden energy, automated units activating silently, camouflaged and deadly. Ancient drones, shaped in the forms of beasts, rose from the shadows, their sensors locked on the fleet. Each drone carried weapons the galaxy had never seen: plasma blades, energy projectiles, and adaptive shields that mirrored the Guardian's commands. The first contact came swiftly. A scouting vessel broke formation, firing at one of Earth's energy arrays. In an instant, the Guardian's command reached every machine. The array amplified, a focused beam striking the Zypharian ship. Energy flares erupted, tearing through its hull. The vessel spiraled out of control, crashing into the mountainside with a deafening explosion. The fleet hesitated, shock rippling through their ranks. Myra whispered to Yarok, "They don't realize yet, the Guardian isn't just a fighter. He's a strategist. Earth itself is his weapon." The Guardian's next move was subtle but devastating. He tapped into the planet's communication networks, intercepting the Zypharian fleet's signals. False coordinates, scrambled orders, and phantom threats appeared across their screens. Ships collided with one another in confusion, fire erupting as panic spread. Humanity had turned their knowledge of the galaxy against them, using cunning over brute force. Kalen's rage boiled over. Focus on the Guardian. Target him directly. He unleashed the fleet's experimental weapon, a gravity disruptor designed to tear a planet apart. As the device activated, the Guardian's eyes glowed. He extended his hand, and the weapon stalled midair, crushed by an unseen force. Energy arcs licked around the device, then it disintegrated into harmless particles. On the ground, Myra and Yarok watched in awe. "He's controlling it, controlling everything," Myra said, her voice trembling with both fear and admiration. "One human is doing what an entire fleet could not." The Guardian spoke then, his voice resonating with the weight of centuries. "I am not alone. Humanity endures through me. Through all of you who survived. Through every hidden installation, every secret machine. You forgot us, galaxy. But we remember." Suddenly, the valley erupted with coordinated energy strikes. Automated turrets emerged from mountains, targeting Zypharian ships attempting to regroup. Drones surged in synchronized waves, striking with precise timing. The fleet struggled to respond, each movement anticipated and countered. Kalen watched helplessly as the Guardian orchestrated a masterful display of strategy and power. It was no longer a battle of weapons. It was a battle of intellect, coordination, and human ingenuity. Every attack, every defense, every counter was part of a plan only a human mind could conceive, enhanced by the ancient technology of Earth. As night fell over the battlefield, the Guardian's presence radiated across continents. Hidden bases activated in waves, cities flickered to life, and the planet itself seemed to rise in defiance. Kalen's fleet began to retreat, though some ships clung stubbornly to the edge of combat. He knew they could not win, not against one human commanding an entire world. The Guardian did not chase them. Instead, he watched, calculating, preparing for the next phase. Myra and Yarok approached him, eyes wide with realization. "This is just the beginning," she said. "They underestimated us, badly." The Guardian nodded, his gaze lifting to the stars. "They will learn," he said quietly. "They will remember what humanity is capable of." And above the planet, the remnants of the Zypharian fleet fled, carrying a warning across the galaxy. Earth was awake. Humanity had returned. And its hidden Guardian was only the first strike of many. The night sky over Earth burned with energy. Hidden cities and ancient installations had activated in unison, creating a lattice of light that stretched across continents and oceans. Humanity was no longer fractured. It was unified in purpose, guided by the Guardian whose presence radiated authority, intelligence, and an unyielding will. In a fortified underground command center, Myra Hale monitored every signal, her eyes darting across the projections. "Every system is operational," she said, awe in her voice. "Satellites, energy weapons, drones, everything. We can control the battlefield from here." Beside her, Yarok adjusted a panel that displayed alien movements. "The fleet won't know what hit them next," he said. "We've leveled the playing field, and then some." Far above, remnants of the Zypharian fleet had retreated to regroup. Commander Kalen's pride had been shattered, and a seed of fear had taken root in his mind. The Guardian had turned one planet into a fortress, and a single human mind had orchestrated what an entire armada could not. He barked orders, desperate to salvage their mission. "Prepare the fleet for rapid reinforcements. Call every ally in this sector. Earth must fall before it can grow stronger." But the Guardian anticipated every move. Through Earth's ancient surveillance networks, he intercepted communications, traced reinforcements, and calculated trajectories of approaching fleets. Automated platforms emerged from hidden underground bays, launching satellites, missiles, and drones in precise patterns designed to confuse, trap, and incapacitate the invaders. Every weapon, every strategy, was a lesson in human ingenuity. On the ground, Myra and Yarok followed the Guardian into a massive subterranean operations hub. Holographic maps displayed not only the surface but orbital paths, distant fleets, and energy currents. The Guardian's fingers danced over controls, activating weapon systems, defensive grids, and communication nodes. "We must send a message," he said, voice calm but commanding. "Not just to Kalen, to the entire galaxy. Humanity is awake, and we will not be ignored." The first transmission went out, projected across hyperspace, reaching every star system within range. It was simple but clear: Earth is defended. Humanity remembers. The Guardian has returned. Within minutes, fleets across the sector paused, intercepting the message. Many assumed it was a bluff, yet the evidence spoke otherwise. Sensors detected coordinated strikes from hidden installations, orbital defenses neutralizing advanced weaponry, and Earth's hidden fleets preparing for war. Panic rippled across alien councils, and whispers spread of a human resurgence unlike anything the galaxy had witnessed in millennia. Myra realized the scope of what they had achieved. "This isn't just a defensive stand," she said. "We're rewriting the galaxy's perception of humanity. They've forgotten us, but we haven't forgotten ourselves." Yarrick nodded, feeling a surge of pride. "And it's only the beginning. We have the knowledge, the technology, and the Guardian leading us." The Guardian's focus turned toward Kalen's fleet. The aliens were attempting to mount a coordinated attack, hoping to strike the planet before humanity could fully awaken. But the Guardian's command extended beyond Earth's surface. Automated drones, satellites, and even the planet's natural energy fields converged in synchronized precision. Zypharian ships were trapped in layers of countermeasures, engines failing, weapons nullified, and navigation systems scrambled. Every attempt to break through was met with devastating efficiency. In orbit, Kalen watched helplessly as his fleet faltered. He realized that brute force alone could not win this battle. The humans had turned the very planet into a living weapon, and its Guardian was a strategist, warrior, and commander all in one. "They've become something more than we imagined," he admitted, claws clenched. "We've underestimated the legends. And legends are dangerous." On the ground, the Guardian moved through the command hub, observing the synchronized defense. His blue eyes reflected the lights of hundreds of operational nodes, each one a testament to human innovation. "They wanted to forget us," he said softly. "They wanted humanity to fade into myth. But we endured, we adapted, and now we rise." Myra looked at him, understanding dawning. "This isn't just about defense," she said. "It's about reclaiming our place in the galaxy." The Guardian nodded, his gaze lifting toward the stars. "And every species that doubted us will learn that humans are not to be underestimated. Not now, not ever." Suddenly, a signal appeared on the central console, a fleet, far larger than Kalen's, responding to the Guardian's transmission. Entire star systems had taken notice. Some came to investigate, others to challenge, but all recognized the shift in power. Humanity was no longer an isolated planet. It was a force to be reckoned with, and the Guardian's presence ensured their return would be decisive. The Guardian addressed Myra and Yarrick, his voice steady and commanding. "Prepare for the next phase. We will extend Earth's influence. We will secure our future. But first, we must ensure no threat remains unchecked. The galaxy must understand one thing: we are not defenseless. We are not forgotten. And humanity will endure." As night gave way to dawn, Earth shimmered with the activation of hidden cities, energy grids, and orbital defenses. The Guardian stood atop the ridge, watching the horizon. His presence radiated authority and promise. Across the galaxy, intelligence networks and fleets took notice of Earth's awakening, and whispers of fear and respect spread among alien civilizations. This was more than a battle. It was the beginning of a human resurgence. The Guardian had shown that with intellect, strategy, and unyielding determination, even a single planet could challenge an entire armada. And as he prepared for the next wave of conflict, one truth became clear: humanity was rising, and the galaxy would remember why legends feared the Guardians of Earth. The stars above Earth burned like fire as alien fleets hesitated on the edge of the system. The Guardian stood at the command hub, observing displays that stretched across continents and orbit. His blue eyes, bright as Earth's skies, reflected the weight of responsibility and the calm assurance of an unbroken will. Humanity had survived millennia of isolation, secrecy, and misunderstanding, and now the galaxy would learn exactly what it had underestimated. Myra and Yarrick moved alongside him, their faces pale but resolute. "They're massing their fleets," Myra said, tension in her voice. "They still don't understand. They think one planet can't fight back." Yarrick shook his head. "They forgot us. But now, they will remember." The Guardian turned his gaze to the approaching ships. The Zypharians had returned with reinforcements, joined by mercenary fleets from systems that had long dismissed humanity as insignificant. They carried their most devastating weapons, energy cannons capable of obliterating continents and shields that had never failed. The combined fleet advanced, confident they would finally crush Earth. But the Guardian anticipated every step. Through a network of satellites, orbital drones, and hidden installations, he projected signals that disrupted enemy coordination. Ships collided as guidance systems scrambled. Shields failed in sudden bursts. Waves of energy arcs from hidden platforms tore through formations with pinpoint precision. Every movement was countered, every threat neutralized. The galaxy watched as Earth itself seemed to fight back. "This is impossible," one alien admiral muttered. "One human controls an entire planet." Fear rippled through the fleet as they realized the Guardian was not merely defending but dictating the battlefield. On the ground, Myra activated the planetary response grid. Energy beams lanced across the skies, orbital cannons adjusted their focus, and hidden drones emerged to strike with surgical precision. Yarok observed in awe. "It's not just brute force," he said. "It's strategy, intelligence, creativity. Humanity is turning its greatest weakness, its isolation, into its greatest strength." The Guardian moved through the central hub, extending his awareness into every system. His thoughts reached the automated defenses, guiding them, adapting them, optimizing each strike. The enemy fleet faltered under the precision of his control. What had seemed impossible was now inevitable. Humanity was no longer defenseless, no longer hidden, and no longer underestimated. Kalen, commanding the Zypharian fleet, struggled to maintain order. Target the Guardian directly. Use all weapons. Focus fire. Destroy him. But their attacks faltered. Energy blasts evaporated against shields, missiles veered off course, and ships collided in confusion. Each move the Guardian made was anticipated, countered, and neutralized before it could even reach Earth. The Guardian's voice carried across the battlefield, steady and commanding. "You came seeking dominion. You will find only balance. Humanity is awake, and Earth is defended." Suddenly, the planetary defense grid pulsed in perfect unison. Hidden cities, underground bunkers, and orbital platforms activated simultaneously. Beams of concentrated energy sliced through the enemy fleet, dismantling ships without mercy. Alien forces that had relied on numerical superiority were helpless against the Guardian's coordination. It was not destruction for its own sake, but precise retribution, a lesson the galaxy would never forget. From the heart of the planet, massive machines stirred, long buried under centuries of soil and rock. Titans of steel and energy emerged from hidden underground bases, weapon systems integrating with the Guardian's command. Humanity had unleashed its full strength, but with restraint, striking only to incapacitate and neutralize threats rather than annihilate. Myra watched the display, tears in her eyes. We're actually doing it," she whispered. "We're showing them what humanity can be." Yarok nodded, awestruck. "And it's just the beginning. They'll know, across the galaxy, that we're not to be taken lightly." The Guardian turned to them, his expression calm but resolute. "The galaxy must remember us, not as myths, not as legends, but as a living, enduring force. Today, humanity shows its strength. Tomorrow, we reclaim our place among the stars." Kalen's remaining fleet attempted to retreat, but the Guardian allowed them only enough space to survive as a warning. His strategy was clear: intimidation, not extermination, diplomacy through strength. The Zypharians would carry this lesson across the galaxy, a tale of a human awakening that no civilization could ignore. As the dust settled, Earth glowed with renewed life. Hidden cities emerged, power grids hummed, and ancient technology integrated seamlessly with human knowledge. Humanity had not only defended its home but demonstrated its capacity for resilience, creativity, and ingenuity. The Guardian had awakened not just a weapon, but the potential of an entire civilization. Myra and Yarok stood beside him, feeling the weight of the moment. "We've done more than survive," Myra said softly. "We've reminded the galaxy that humans are not to be forgotten." The Guardian's gaze swept across the horizon, reflecting the first rays of dawn. "And we will not be. Earth endures, and so does humanity. We rise from the shadows, not as victims, but as sentinels. The galaxy will remember. Above, satellites aligned, orbital drones patrolled, and the stars themselves seemed to witness the resurgence. Humanity had returned, guided by the wisdom, courage, and ingenuity of the Guardian. The planet had awakened, its secrets revealed, and its legacy reclaimed. This was more than a battle won, it was a statement, a declaration, a promise. The galaxy would never forget the humans of Earth, nor the Guardian who had led them from the shadows into a new era of power, respect, and vigilance. Humanity had reclaimed its place among the stars, and the legends of old were now reality. The Guardian looked to the horizon, calm and resolute. The galaxy had seen what humanity could achieve. And this was only the beginning.